Hey, it's JP with Ethics, and I'm here to take a look at a very useful token today. Basically, I mean, more than a token, they have a fully working DApp. I think they went live in May this year, and I'm just trying it out for the first time. Basically, FundRequest allows you to, use this DApp to create funding for issues on GitHub. So you can create your own issue or find an existing issue that you really want done kind of in the open source community and assign some funds to it. So let's take a look. Like in my case, we've been using this Lottie thing. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a open source library kind of created by Airbnb that lets you have these JSON-based animations from After Effects, vector animations that work across platforms, which is actually kind of difficult. So they've sort of solved this problem. And in my case, we're using it in React Native, which Airbnb maintains the React Native library, but they don't maintain the React one. So this user instead sort of created this React Lottie project, and it works really well. We've been using it a little bit, but there's an issue here that someone filed about setting animation progress, which essentially just allows more control over the animations as they play. And you can see here that the author, King Spring, is actually replying to this thread. And in here, he sort of says like, oh, I'll think about this and try when I have time, right? Which is like, if anyone's ever worked on open source projects, you see this a lot. But a lot of people are asking for it, and he's engaged in this issue. So I'm actually thinking this is a good option to maybe add some funding to this, because I'd really like to see this feature as well, and push him over the edge of his busyness with some incentive. So let's see if I can fund this issue. So I'm just going to copy the issue here. And then over here on FundRequest, I've already created an account. So hit get started, and basically right away I can fund an existing request, which is what I want to do. So I'm going to paste in the issue here. You can see it's pulled out the issue and describe why you'd like to add funding. I'm just going to say, I'd love see this feature as well. And I'm going to go on to payment details. Okay, so basically there's some options down here. I have MetaMask unlocked, and I have about 2,000 FND, which in the bear market at the moment, I think this is probably worth close to $100. So I'm going to spend my whole sort of funds of FND here to fund this request. So let's see here. Let me double check that amount. To 2139, we'll call it 2139 even. And so I'll just do the whole amount here, 2139. FND, there's no other choices at the moment. So this is their token, the FND token, which, by the way, I went and bought on a marketplace a la Ethics, sort of found it at an open market rate that I liked, and now I'm going to pass that on to this issue. So I selected MetaMask here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit continue to summary. Okay, so there's my total sort of recap and MetaMask. So I'm going to go ahead and start. This is really nice, by the way. It's stepping me through, reinforcing that I picked MetaMask, showing me the total, and now I'm going to hit start transaction. Okay, first time funding with FND. We need to, oh, right. So of course I need to allow or approve the this ERC20 token to sort of work with the FundRequest smart contract. So it seems like it's going to walk me through it. And if you're not familiar with this approval thing, it's just part of ERC20. I basically have to allow make an allowance of my token that I approve to work with the FundRequest smart contract. So I'm going to go ahead, and it's telling me I'm going to have 2 transactions. I've never done this before, so I'm going to sort of see how this works. First one for you to approve funding in FND. Second one is to transfer tokens, of course. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue transaction. And as we expect, this is MetaMask here. I'm not really going to noodle gas. Gas is really cheap right now. It's going to cost me 3 cents, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And with approval, actually, they've taken advantage of this thing where you can queue up the events. So it seems like in this case, they're going ahead and firing off the actual transmittal of funds, even though the approval hasn't come back as completely finished yet. But that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. And I see the app here loading, and here we go. I have a pending transaction here. So now I have a little dashboard of all my requests. So it hasn't really found it all yet, but my open request is pending here. Oh yeah, $72. Okay, so I was off by a bit. Okay, so I gave it a few minutes here, and I actually had to increase the gas price a couple times just to get it done. But this transaction here finished. So the request is now funded. So the item here is still pending, and but if I go hop over to the, because it hasn't been worked on yet or anything, if I hop over to the issue and refresh here, you can see that the FundRequest bot opened of funding here. This issue has been funded using FundRequest. The developer can claim the reward by submitting a pull request referencing this issue. So from here, I'm not totally sure, like if someone does a pull request or whatever, if I have to be the one to approve it as completed or anything like that. So I don't know what happens yet next after this. So we'll see if I can get this guy's attention with this funding. I will see if he actually submits the change, and if so, I'll make another follow-up video and see how we do. So, all right, thanks for tuning in, and make sure to subscribe to Ethics here on YouTube. We're going to try to do a lot more videos reviewing DApps and taking a look at how they work. If you haven't checked out our Augur video, you should check that out. And follow us on Twitter. Come visit us in Telegram, and of course, take a look at our DApp for trading useful tokens just like this one. So that's it for me. I'll see you soon. Bye.